I know that when I have my own children, it's going to take something from me to go, stuff you, world. This is my child. This is normal. And I'm just going to focus on my child and not what any of you are thinking right now. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of guts and a lot of determination to just focus on your child and know what's right for you and your child. So it's not easy. We've got all these subliminal messages coming in from the outside world. And then we go to daycare, and I was nearly hired for a job. My job literally was going to be go in and analyze, just observe children all day. And you know what? If you're given a role like that, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find problems, because that's my mindset. So we're in these roles to find the issues with children, quick find them. And it's just not leading to positive outcomes for parents or children. And I also think that I even had some parents say it on a program call this week, is that we're just too busy to deal with them, deal with the emotions. We find them inconvenient because I've got this task and that task to do. So we need to then reprioritize what's more important in the moment here. Should I spend maybe 5 minutes with my child or 20 minutes battling it? Because that's usually the time difference. It's quite extreme. So we're so busy that we find them inconvenient and we just want to squish it. So I feel like there's a range of reasons, but they cover most of it in my experience.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not so subliminal. Sometimes people will come up to you and tell you off publicly and tell you what your child should and shouldn't do and yell at you. That has happened to me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Yeah, no, it's not subliminal at all. It is quite in your face. And of course, all you can think about in that experience is how judged you are. I want to share this little experience with you. So I had a play group, and of course I have a child with autism, and he was a handful, particularly at that age. He was like 2 or 3, was nonverbal, was a handful. And we were still trying to figure out what on earth we could do to support him. And of course, we had all the therapists and everything, but I had this woman tell me in my own play group that I had set up with another friend, I don't think you can bring your son anymore because he's disrupting the other children. So my own play group. So that was definitely a fairly hurtful experience for me as a parent, because then I felt completely ostracized and isolated just because my child was different to their children. Although you got to wonder how different really was he? And he's turned out all right. He's 18 now. He's studying. Yeah. And he's doing great. So it's such a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah, a minefield, and it's just full of judgments. And it's not just with children. We are full of judgments in every area of our life with any person we meet always. And it's the point of which how conscious we are of that dictates how well we can function in this world. Yeah. Because a lot of it's unconscious, and a lot of people will remain that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know it. All right. So let's talk about meltdowns. So what leads to meltdowns? Why do children have them? And why do parents have them? Because it's not just children having them, right?
No, it's not. That's why it's so funny when people say to me, oh, my children needs to self-regulate. And I say, how well do you do? How well do I? Don't do very well. Sometimes I really do just want to punch my pillow, or I really do just want to have a big cry, or I really do just want to throw a tantrum. I really do want to do that. And sometimes I actually do. So I think, again, we've got the expectation of these 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Come on, the brain doesn't finish developing until we're around 26 years of age. So let's put that into perspective, really. So why do we have meltdowns? So first off, I like to just set the stage of that childhood is a training ground. It is the training ground for adulthood, the training ground for how we're going to manage uncertainty, changes in our environment, emotions, things that make or have us feel angry, sad, happy, or just discomfort in our bodies, or maybe elation in our bodies. Who knows what it could be? Childhood is a training ground, and it requires repetition for it to lead to successful outcomes in adulthood. And what I mean by that is meltdowns are frequent, as depending on the age of the child. And it is this way because of a few different reasons. So one is that we're functioning from the emotion center of the brain. So often doctors don't even have this discussion with parents.